The source material for this reaction video has been edited for pacing. Dead air and unrelated material have been removed, but clips remain chronological and in context, for edutainment purposes only. Ethan Klein is suing another YouTuber. Must be Tuesday.
It's my hot body, I'll do what I want.
It's showtime.
What are those things? They look like fat love turned into a nun.
It is official. I am being sued by Ethan Klein.
While Ian did give a crap apology for this action that he took that led to him getting sued, I don't know, I'm just not seeing the point in suing him.
In the courts of Calgary, Alberta, for defamation.
It shouldn't have, but this did surprise me. I figured the C&D was enough.
I do plan on fighting against this, but for now it is in the hands of the courts and our attorneys.
What do you mean for now? The entire suit will be in their hands.
I will say that...
Please don't. That's how you got this in the first place.
It worries me what it means for the commentary community, and especially the Canadian commentary community.
He's not fighting Ethan Klein just for himself. Oh no. He's going to fight the lawsuit on behalf of the Canadian people, especially the ones who have been making fun of him for the past 2 years.
But this is about all I can say, at least for now.
And then why do you keep talking?
I'm sorry that the stream is so short. I wish I could give you a lot more grease.
It's Ethan Klein's fault that I'm not giving you a full live stream today.
But I will resume the regularly scheduled content on Thursday.
I don't think you should. You know what I think you should do? I think you should start reacting to your old videos, because then you have content and you can learn from past Ian how to make them.
Again, I'm sorry it's so short.
You don't look sorry. In fact, you look kind of giddy and excited, which is not healthy.
But we will be back, and I appreciate you being here for this important announcement. Have a good day, everyone.
Look at him. He loves this. This is what a lolcow wants. Give them a reason to claim victimhood. So let's get the deets from H3, who put it all together in a segment for me, so all of the stuff I had pre-planned got thrown away. Thanks, guys. No, I do appreciate it, but seriously, I had a whole thing.
So yes, I am suing my former bestie, iDubbbz.
One of Ian's lolcow traits is that he tries to deny that they ever had a real friendship and tries to make it into a business relationship when he's on video calling Ethan his best friend more than once.
Who and I'll shortly explain why, because to me it kind of doesn't, it's not that big of a mystery. So
no, it's not. And I had assembled a very good timeline until you aired this and made my timeline irrelevant. I'm not bitter.
As you may or may not know, Ian has deeply aligned himself with the snark community that is basically responsible for and celebrated CPS coming to my house to take my children away.
If you've forgotten, instead of just saying, yeah, Ethan and Gila have a clean house, Ian made a Content Cop H3 in which he basically said, I don't know if your house is clean. I don't know you, man. What? You have kids? You're probably terrible to them.
And sending human skulls to my home.
The fact that there are people who don't realize how seriously disturbing this is seriously disturbs me.
These are two things that on the Snark Discord they have on the banner. They have a skull with CPS on the forehead. They think it's funny. They love it. They're proud of it.
And it makes no goddamn sense. There are so many people in the world who are very abusive to children, and people are choosing to attribute these characteristics to Ethan Klein because they've decided already that they dislike him, and it's bullshit.
And iDubbbz aligns with them, shouts them out, calls them great people. He browses the subreddit on his live stream.
It's super weird, and yes, I've reacted to him doing it.
He's in deep with them. In fact, even in his follow-up to his Content Cop, he justified it. He says, I think it's good that CPS was called and investigated that.
What I'm understanding from this explanation is that from Ethan's perspective, he's not suing iDubbbz for defamation for one thing, but for a series of events.
Because clearly, as someone who's been to Ethan's house and met his children, there's shit all over the place, and his kids are clearly in trouble and would be in better care of be better taken care of in foster care.
And this is where I state I don't know how I would act if I were in that situation, mainly because I've never been a parent. I mean, I've been a parent. Apparently, I'm here right now, but I've never been a mother or father or otherwise guardian of children.
Whereas, you know, the floors are spotless and the children are well cared for.
The Kleins produce enough content at home to actually show this. Their house looks uncomfortably clean.
But that's not actually why I'm suing him. It's just a little prelude.
Really? Because it sounds to me like you're trying to establish a larger case for the public here.
So, Ian, following all that, put this... did an entire stream.
So yes, after this H3 segment aired, I looked at my timeline and said, well, I don't need you anymore, and threw it all out.
Anyway, following all that, Ian went on his stream and displayed this message for his whole
crime.
The whole broadcast.
Which is the main reason I didn't react to that stream. I'm sure it could have been very entertaining, but that's just not okay, and I'm not putting that in my video.
Tin's the best. Okay, actually, while I...
and the title is Ian iDubbbz browses H3 Snark as a VTuber.
Address this, I will have this just available on screen.
Ian could score no points with his fight against Ethan, so he decided his best strategy was to reroute Ethan's ire to another streamer, and who better to be mad at than Destiny? It's a pussy move.
So that
so it says he's blowing this up, and he does
aren't confused.
He does it as a watermark for his whole hours-long stream.
Which is a great way of keeping reactors from using that stream.
It's a comment that says, quick daily reminder that Ethan from H3 is likely a pedophile who has molested his own children. And he's basically rebroadcasting this comment uncritically. And also, if you kind of, I don't know how it works in Canada, if the complaint is public or what, but if you look at it, he emphasizes throughout that he does think it's a serious accusation that needs to be investigated and that he doesn't think it's a joke.
If that's accurate, it's looking worse for Ian right now.
Right. Now, I know people are like, well, why don't you sue Destiny for saying it?
Destiny has nothing to do with this situation, and Ian was trying to drag him in as a distraction and alternate target.
Well, Destiny made it immediately. First of all, this is a comment from Destiny, like made in passing. Ian put it on his screen for 2 hours during his main broadcast.
Point being, this message from Destiny wasn't a tweet, it wasn't a DM, it wasn't its own thing. It was part of a larger conversation and has context we're not getting access to.
Destiny made it clear that he was not being serious, right?
No, not right. I don't know that.
Pretty much immediately after writing it. Like, nobody was like, yo, Destiny made this claim that Ethan molested his children. Oh, shit.
But Destiny's a deviant. So, I mean, I expect he says all sorts of things that people don't take seriously.
No, people knew that when Destiny said it was like, he was just being a dickhead.
Did they? I don't know. I avoid Destiny content.
Or, I mean, he was being a giant fucking piece of shit, right? But he immediately afterwards made it clear that he didn't actually think that.
I'd feel a lot better about your constant assertion of this fact if you gave me some evidence.
But Ian took that. And just because you're showing what someone else said doesn't make it not defamation, because you're showing essentially this accusation bare of context and also kind of saying that you think it's true, right?
Destiny had no intention to commit defamation, but Ian did when he used Destiny's words. Is that it?
So he has this quick daily reminder that Ethan from H3 is likely a pedophile who's molested his own children. Again, this is after CPS visited my house. I mean, I personally, with all the shit that we've been through, and I've been through a lot of shit with a lot of people online, I mean, this is just fucking unhinged, right?
But which one's the douche and which one's the turd sandwich?
And Ian is spending his whole day on Twitter retweeting people like Jake Chinatown, who says he wants to take my children by their ankles and slam them into a tree till they're bloody pulp.
Are you claiming that Ian retweeted that specific tweet, or that he retweets tweets from that guy in general? Because there is a bit of a difference.
Right. And these are my children, of course. I'm sure, I don't know how many of these people are like Moist Critical he doesn't have children as far as I'm aware.
Did anybody watch the video? I didn't watch the video. I don't care enough to watch the video. I watch Moist Critical when he's doing something like making fun of a shitty movie.
I said from the beginning that if people want to go after my children, then, the rules of engagement have changed forever. And that's what I said then.
It's just inappropriate to, 1, bring family into it, 2, bring kids into it, 3, do any of this shit at all.
And when Ian broadcast this, I sent him a cease and desist because, there's certain things that you don't say and you don't do and lines you don't cross.
The C&D made sense to me. I hope he's going to explain how that grew into an actual defamation lawsuit.
And they flaunted it. They didn't take it seriously. And essentially, right, and I don't know how Moist Critical or other people feel about this, but if somebody who's met your children and family said that you molested your children after CPS has been to your house to investigate your house and interviewed your children against your will.
And there's where I think a lot of people disconnect, because most people who are watching these content creators are not parents, and we do not understand what this is like.
I really don't know how. I'm assuming people that don't understand don't have the full context, right? So I'm being I'm just giving the full context because
Then I want to see the context of the Destiny quote.
Is that funny? I don't know. Is that a joke? Is that free speech? I don't think so.
And you're testing that with a lawsuit.
Then the other thing I hear is this is a grave threat against free speech. No, it's not. Defamation laws exist in every major Western country, because you can't just say people molested their children. That's not free speech. That's not protected speech.
That's true. It's not protected speech.
You can't accuse someone of committing a heinous crime. That's not, if they didn't, that's not free speech. That's not protected speech. It's literally not protected speech. It's actually explicitly carved out in the law.
It's true. Some of the other things that you don't get free speech for is saying that a person is sexually promiscuous and or that they have a sort of disease.
As, this is the legal route you take when someone defames you. Right. So anybody who's thinking of being yeah, Ethan's crazy for doing this and this is an affront on free speech, it's not.
And while that may seem very black and white to you, we all know that court cases establish precedent. You know that better than anyone.
Actually, at all. How is this? It's not how is what he's doing free speech? How is this protected speech? If somebody just started making a video yeah, Charlie came to my house and molested my children.
If you want to talk to Moist Critical, talk to Moist Critical. Don't do it through your show like this. It's really embarrassing.
I wouldn't protect their right to say that. Yeah, Charlie, he's a pedophile and he wants to fuck kids. I'd be well, that's crazy. That's not true at all. That's not protected speech. That's an outrageous fucking defamatory lie. And I don't think anybody would argue against that, right?
Wrong. He doesn't have kids. The accusation is much more serious when you have kids. So you're trying to point this out to a person who doesn't understand where you're coming from.
And so, when my children enter the picture, and I said this back then, the bets are off and the rules have changed, and I will do everything to ensure that people do not talk about my children in this way. People do not do death celebrate killing my children.
Did Ian retweet that exact tweet? Or is he just associated with an army of wastrels?
On people like Ian feel comfortable saying this types of stuff, retweeting people to say they want to kill my children, which he has done.
No, if Ian had retweeted that specific tweet, you'd be showing it to us. You're not, because he didn't. Now, he may associate with that guy, but it's not the same thing.
Right. But I understand the discourse is dominated probably a lot by people on Twitter, and Twitter's infested with
Twitter has devolved from a highway to a sewer. It was a subway system, but now the trains are all bashed up and people have to walk from station to station, and they're all chuds. Literal chuds.
Political actors, right, who don't want to give the full context to everything that's happening.
You give them too much credit calling them political actors. They're people like Hassan, people who think they're involved in politics, but all they do is talk online every day.
But I would just want to get this to people like Charlie, for example, and other commentators who are this is an attack on free speech. It's not. It's not free speech to say that stuff.
Yeah, but every online commentator sees things the same way. It's a two-sided issue. If you're telling someone not to say a certain thing, you might as well be telling them not to say anything.
Listen, I'm pretty heavy free speech, for the most part, but obviously I acknowledge that there's limits to it. We all agree you can't shout fire in a movie theater, right? Because it's dangerous.
Yeah, but you're talking about defamation.
Can you just accuse people of molesting their own children?
You can state it, but you shouldn't be putting it in writing or broadcasting it, no.
If it's not true?
So this is in the vein of the Noah Samson suit, which is in America, which is a defamation suit as well.
It's not free speech. It's not. Why would that be protected? What kind of fucking world would that be if that was protected speech? Not one I want to live in, right? And there should be recourse. There should be accountability.
I don't disagree, but I also don't see you changing anybody's mind.
And that's basically what my goal is in this. It's not funny. It's not cute. It's not silly. It's not an interesting point. It's evil. It's disgusting. And I think that people should be held accountable for saying stuff like that, putting it on his entire stream, right?
Yes, that's a distinction that needs to be made here. It is something that was broadcast on a public platform to a large audience. That makes it a stronger case of defamation than if Ian just said it himself to someone else.
Although I think it needs really. Yeah, you go.
For the next however long, it's just there as a watermark. Is that funny to anybody with children?
Thank you for adding that qualifier, because that's a big distinction. I think that a lot of people who are doing these things do not know what parenthood is like, or what it's like to have a child or a family even that you really care for and love. So I don't think they get it.
What's concerning about me trying to hold him accountable for saying I molest my children? I mean, seriously? I'm kind of befuddled that people actually disagree with me. Although I'm assuming they just don't have the full context.
They don't. Most people don't see the lawsuit as a series of events leading up to this defamation. Most people see it as Ian sharing someone else's words and you suing him for sharing someone else's words, because people are stupid and people are simple, and we want the world to be as simple as we are.
And then also, I kind of give the same answer to the Kino boys, who I've shouted out before. I do think they're funny, but he gave this this is funny. He gave this very impassioned post about how, although Ian is whatever, yada, yada, I stand behind Ian's right to say that Ethan molested his children.
Don't be hyperbolic with disingenuous rephrasing. He sees it as a free speech issue. Again, we're talking about people who don't have children.
Because it's free speech. It's not free speech to say that. It's not. It's not protected speech in Canada or in America or anywhere else to say that people molest their children, right? But these guys affectionately have called me Lex Juther, and I'm just fulfilling my duty as Lex Juther.
That's a reasonably good response to a PPP statement. Yeah, they do. They call you that.
None of us want to live in a world where rich, petty tyrants like Ethan can police speech and silence criticism. That's saying I molested my children is not criticism. What's the critique?
PPP is a troll. He makes his entire living by saying hyperbolic things about people that are probably untrue. It is in his best interest that you lose this so that he can continue to abuse Ian.
Lawfare and produce a chilling effect? What's the chilling effect? Just don't say people molested their own children. Like, it's pretty fucking easy to avoid this.
If Triple P were American, he'd be MAGA. He's not the person to bother trying to convince with this argument. It's just not worth it. He's going to be a free speech absolutist.
I totally fail to understand why people are finding the need to take this principled stance in favor of fair use when my complaint is that he said I molested my children.
You remember what this was like when you needed your FUPA troopers. People don't like people who use their power and money to engage in lawsuits with other people. Yes, you have the ability now. That doesn't mean people are going to approve of it, even if you're completely correct and within the law.
It's not like he called me an asshole or a meanie head or whatever the fuck, you know. I'm frankly find the whole thing a little bit befuddling.
I don't find it befuddling, but that's because I'm distant from this situation and don't have any real emotional involvement. This is what people do. This is how people act.
It is what it is.
I find this phrase infuriating, and it's something that we end up saying every time Trump's president.
A lot of these people don't have children.
Exactly.
And who are like, I can't believe Ethan would commit lawfare on Ian to produce a chilling effect on all commentary. Just don't say that. Just don't say that. Right.
And they're not going to get it. Don't wear yourself out trying to convince them. We're moving ahead now to his reaction to Ian's announcement.
It is official. I am being sued by Ethan Klein.
And by the what's funny is like we sent him a cease and desist and they didn't really take it seriously. So it shouldn't be a surprise to him.
Yeah, but we don't know that. We saw an apology, therefore we think he did his job.
I mean, I've made good on all my promises that I made over the years about holding people accountable, involving, especially talking about my children, right?
And the majority of people watching this conflict don't have any experience with your perspective.
I feel like if you see this video out of the context of all the insane shit that they've been saying and the communities they've been running and all this stuff, maybe you feel bad for him. But, this is the result of something horrible, he said, of his own volition, and stood on too once pressed on it. So,
and I feel like Ethan doesn't appreciate the smirk on Ian's face that evidences his absolute delight in being able to play a victim.
That's basically all it is, right? And also, again, this whole thing of like, I'm so worried about the commentators of Canada. It's not about criticism. It's about defamation.
So what's your conclusion? I think the fact that Ian is a lolcow and lolcows love being victims is a very good reason not to give him this opportunity. And at the same time, I feel silly for emphasizing the childlessness of many of the parties involved because they should still know better. Share your opinion in the comments below. And if you don't want to share your opinion, then answer this question. Who put the bump in the bump-a-bump-a-bump? And who put the ram in the ram-a-lam-a-ding-dong? See you next time.